Welcome to Health for 4th grade, and we are on lesson 133, and the pages are pages 12 to 14, and there's a quick check on page 14. Now, you may not be able to read that very well, but hopefully you can. Your parents do have that, and I didn't just say it, so you can go back and you can listen. First of all, we're going to take a look at our skeletal system, and we're going to name our parts that we have gone over, okay? So, what is this bone right here in the middle? That is your sternum, okay? What about these bones that go and connect to the sternum? There's lots of them. These are your ribs, and this is your rib cage, okay? What about this bone? It's right along the top of this part of you. It's your collarbone, okay? And your collarbone is very important to your arms. What's the one that sits behind? Behind here is your shoulder blade or your scapula. So collarbone is also called the clavicle. So our technical term is clavicle. This one is scapula, okay? And what about this? That would be your skull. And so then the top half, what did we say last time? The top half is our cranium, right? And then the bottom half is comprised of our facial muscles, or facial bones. I'm sorry, I mixed that up a little bit, okay? We have gone over this one. What is this that runs up the back? It's your spinal column and your vertebrae or vertebra. Each individual one is a vertebrae. And then, if you remember, this was from the first day. This is our pelvis, okay? What's about the long bone in our leg? That's your femur, okay? So the long bone, the top one, and then the long bone in our arm is known as the humerus. You may have heard of your funny bone, which is about where your elbow and your humerus meet. If you get hit right there, it's not really funny, but that's where they come up with that. This is your humerus, is the long bone here. And then our two smaller ones that make up the arm, the one that's next to the thumb is I'm sorry, I'm missing that on my one. Let me see if I can look at the other side. Okay, the one that's next to the thumb is the radius. So the radius is next to your thumb, and then the ulna is on the other side. So it's the one that's next to your pinky is the ulna. And the one that's next to your thumb is the radius, okay? Now the two bones in your leg, the front one is the tibia. Make sure I get this. Yeah, the front one is your tibia because that's your shin bone, and the back one is the fibula, okay? And we just looked at our hands and our feet, so we're going to review that. The fingers and the toes all have the same name, and that would be what? That's our phalanges, okay? And then in the hand bones that start right here and go down to our wrist, those are carpals. Remember, we drive a car or steer a car with our carpals and metacarpals. And then metacarpals is the metacarpals is the hand bone, the carpals is the wrist bone, okay? And then in our feet, the foot bones that are after the toe are our metatarsals, and then your tarsals include the ankle part of the bone. And keep that straight, that the other one to remember that is that we walk on tar with our tarsals and metatarsals, okay? Going to page 12, building strong bones. What do people see when they look at you? Do you appear confident, happy, full of energy? Probably the first thing others see is your posture. And so we're going to be talking about posture and building strong bones and how we can build strong bones. You know, as you grow, it's important that you give your body the nutrients, the food that it needs, the vitamins that it needs, and that includes drinking plenty of milk, as long as you're not lactose intolerant. In that case, you would need other supplements for calcium. Spending time in the sunshine, getting plenty of exercise, and practicing good posture. So looking at good posture, because you want your bones to be straight. You don't want to be hunched over. You don't want you don't want to be walking funny because you didn't sit right at this age, and later you have problems. But posture is the way you hold your body when you sit, stand, or move about. And a habit is something you do without thinking about it. Some of you have a habit of saying that is one of my habits, and it's not necessarily the best habit, but it is a habit. I say it without really thinking about it. Some of you have a habit of getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth. That's a very good habit to have. Some of you have a habit of popping your knuckles, and that is, not necessarily a good habit. But some of our habits are good and some are bad, and so you have to recognize what type of habit it is in order to know if it's good or bad. When you're sitting and when you're standing, there's different ways that you can make sure that your posture is good and that you're not creating a bad habit of how you sit and stand. It will help your blood circulate. It helps oxygen get to your body better. And if you do not have good circulation of your blood or oxygen, then it causes your body to work harder than it should. And if possible, when you are sitting for a long time or doing your school, I would try to get you guys up and out of your seats when we were in the classroom, but when you're still at home, continue to take some breaks. I recommended that to all of your parents so that you can have a little bit of a time of where you're standing up and stretching, getting a drink, using the bathroom, just getting out of your chair, because if you sit for too long, then you go a little stir crazy. And you want to be able to keep your circulation up, keep you alert. It helps you focus better if you can get up and move around a little bit while in between your classes. And so when you lean forward to get closer to your work, you shouldn't let your shoulders and back slump. So you shouldn't be hunched over like this working on your schoolwork, okay? Your back should be straight. You should bend your hips, not your shoulders and not your back. So you're working on your paper, and it should look, you should look comfortable. Now, it may take a little bit of getting used to, but that's the difference between good posture and poor posture. And poor posture is really just lazy posture. It's not doing what you are supposed to be doing. It gives you a dull, tired feeling that keeps your body and mind from being alert and active. And you don't want that, especially when you're doing schoolwork, okay? And so you should look and feel comfortable if you're sitting properly. If you're sitting in a lounge chair, like a recliner or on the couch, If you have an ottoman or something to prop your feet or a footstool to put your feet on, it actually helps with circulation to have your feet up during part of that. All right. And the shoulder twist, there you could do that exercise for fitness, shoulder twist to help relax your muscles, and just follow those instructions, and you can do those on your own and answer the quick check after you've read these pages, 12 to 14. Answer those 4 questions on a sheet of paper. And we will see you next time.